Alright, so I've returned many hours later, unfortunately. I went ahead and rendered and uploaded the last session to the YouTube channel. I got my hoodie on because I'm running back and forth outside. I have food on the grill, grilling chicken. I grill chicken thighs every weekend for work because it's what I make a chicken sandwich in the morning. I cut the bone out of the chicken thigh and butterfly it out on a piece of bread with some Miracle Whip and honey mustard, and that's breakfast in the morning. And so I cooked those on Sunday, so I got that on the grill with some other stuff, and so I have a timer going in the back on the microwave, so I'll be pausing and running back to do that. I went and relogged into Chrome with my actual profile, my personal profile. The other one is my work profile. The last time I used this Mac, it's been a good 7 months or so since I actually used this computer. I was doing work stuff, and it's literally been sitting here like asleep for 7 months. It's like April. My daughter uses it, and she comes in and changes my theme to pink and purple, and I'll get to work or my personal laptop if I happen to be logged into my personal account or whatever in an incognito window or whatever, which it doesn't transfer your profile because it doesn't sync in incognito. But if I happen to sign in to my personal account, then my whole screen lights up pink, which can be embarrassing. So the YouTube channel, I am posting these videos, and let's see what happens if I can find it. I've been posting these videos as noob live coding because I have no self-confidence, and so that along with the other non-noob live coding that shows up, I should probably just call it live coding. Let's see what happens when you search that. I'm pretty sure I don't show up. Oh, I do. That's cool. But if you go to my channel and you see the videos there, no subscribers, which these are some videos that my daughter posted. This is the first YouTube video I ever posted for a community event that we did locally. There's a couple of videos my daughter surreptitiously posted when she was like 3. Or I guess 6, yeah, which we didn't know. I didn't find that out until I went to actually post something. So those are the videos there. I put a link in the description to I'm back. The GitHub repo. And it is Sunday. So I'm YouTubing and sharing once I get some more interesting projects or whatever. That'll be cool. Alright, so I'm gonna open the door so that people can move through here. So we have this is kind of a supply room. So let's see, where are we? I refreshed my Chrome and everything. Saying game master is not defined. This is where those notes that I took come in really, really useful, in the sense that I can now remember what I was thinking. I think I still remember it. Game master is not defined. Getting that, and that would be because I have not brought it in to the scope of the project. So let's jump right back in and bring it in with the source tag, and that would be game master, and then this next one will be the command processor. All right, so that brings those in. And if I save and refresh, that should bring in also, that clears up my console errors. So, I am now going to start with, let's see, what's the easiest entry point? I need to start with yanking, the text, right? I need to start with yanking the text out of here. And so that would indicate that I need to start with defining command processor. So it's getting the text box, message box, and the controller, which is Game Master. So when text box comes in, let's deal with actually getting the text, because that's going to allow us to do some testing actually. When the reference that it has to text box is a reference to an HTML element, if I'm not mistaken. So I just heard my timer go off. I need to go check my grill real quick. Be right back. All right, so flipped the food. All right, what was I thinking? Thinking about the text box, I think. All right, so when it comes in, it's gonna get a reference to the element. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna go to W3 School because there's no reason. I'm trying to be faster here. I'm trying to be a little more efficient. There's no reason to just sit and guess about it. If I'm not mistaken, an HTML element has, why am I going to the HTML side? It's the JavaScript side. An HTML element has a text property that I can get access to. So HTML DOM elements. Let's see. So if I go to the bottom, I think there is the complete reference or whatever. Let's see. Let's see. HTML DOM. How do I get to the? Oh, let's see. References. Why is everything hanging up? Everything's freezing up on me. Okay. HTML DOM reference. There it is. Alright, let's see. DOM reference element. Let's see the properties that I have. I think there's a text property. It's inner text. I know inner text exists, but is there something else? Insert. Inner text sets or returns the text content of a node and its descendants. Okay. Sets or returns the content, its inner HTML. Okay. Let's see. Is content editable? Returns true if the content of an element is editable, otherwise false. Okay, inside command processor. The first thing I need to do is I need to do some setup on that text box. I need to add an event listener because I didn't do that out here. I thought about doing it out here and then passing command processor the object, but because that event listener is basically going to be a key listener that will listen for the inner key being pressed, I want to do it inside command processor. Right? Okay. I want to do that inside command processor. I had to make sure that I'm thinking about that properly. All right, let's go back in here and let's find the JavaScript event listener situation, add event listener, and find the types of events that I can HTML DOM event listener. I want to find the event types. Let's see, references, JavaScript reference. Let's see, event, classes, date, math, error, global. I'm not trying to create classes. JavaScript, HTML DOM. Let's see. Where would it be? Events. Okay, it's in the HTML DOM. Okay. Key. Okay. Key press. Okay. Is this actually what I want to listen for? The on key press event occurs when the user presses a key on the keyboard. I know that this is when the key goes down and when it comes up. What I'm thinking is that I want to have something be triggered when that happens, and I want to set it off in command prompt. So I'm just going to do what I'm kind of thinking right now. I'm going to take text box dot add event listener, and I'm going to add a key press listener. I can do an anonymous function, or I could send it to a function, but I'm going to have to do an anonymous function because I need to accept I need to accept a parameter. How do I do that? I need to accept a parameter. Add event listener. Let's go back and find the definition of add event listener. That's in, where is that? Is that in the JavaScript reference? Where was that? Where was it? Add event listener. Let's go back to JavaScript. I know it's in this list. Event listener. Add event listener. Event function. Blah blah blah. How do I pass parameters? Here we go. Use an anonymous function that calls a specified function with the parameters. Okay, click P1, P2, and public or event capturing. I need to capture, what I'm trying to capture is I'm trying to capture the event, because the event is going to capture what key was pressed. There's an event object that gets passed. I'm gonna have to go to MDN JS event object key press, and there's my lovely child. Child, please exit.
I don't want to be accessing because I promise not to be loud in your studio.
Okay, please be quiet. Alright. The key press event is fired when a key that produces a character is pressed down. Alright, let's see. How do I pass that event and get the actual key? That's what I need. Let's see. Okay. And this one is actually accepting. Okay, this one is not an anonymous function. It's actually accepting the event there. So this little example indicates that maybe I can do it like this. Let's just try that. Let me try it with just let's see, add event listener, because what I want it to do. Okay, this is gonna add. Okay, this is gonna add the event listener. It's gonna listen for a key. Well, I still need this anonymous function because the reason I need it is what I'm gonna do is I only want it because with it being a key press listener, there's no way to tell what key was pressed. It's just gonna listen for key presses. I have to deal with it and have it only call the function that's gonna start processing the commands or start processing the text that was passed in. I have to make it. I have to make it. Turn that down, please. It's too loud. I have to make it. Thank you. I have to make it only call that function. Turn it down, please. I have to make it call that function only when the entry key is pressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the function that it'll call is going to be, I guess I'll call it parse command. Well, no. First thing I want to do is it's going to be a function. Close that, and then I'm going to open my brackets here, and I'm going to say if can I do this? E dot. Let's see, how do I deal with this? E. Can I? It's been a long time since I did this. So how can I get? How can I get? Let's see. Event. Let's see. JS event object. Oh no, I didn't want that. Child, please. SB, please. Okay. Alright, let's see. That's where it was. I don't want this. I just want to look at the event object and see one, what properties and methods or whatever it has. Interfaces, properties, let's see. Compose, source element, type, and default. Okay, so I actually have like this is a keyboard event. It's not just a generic event. Since properties keyboard event.code with the code value of the physical key represented by the event. Okay. The problem that I'm having is how do I think I can do this. Let's see. I'm just gonna say e.code. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. E.code. Turns out a DOM string. If e.code, let's see, JS key codes. See what the enter key is. I know space is like 25. I think it's like 37, 36, 37, I don't know. 13, what's space bar? 32. A is 25, so it's 65. That's the S. Okay, backspace. 13. Okay, so it's 13. Sweet little tool there. If e.code equals 13, then I want it to call parse input passing it e, which I don't even know if that's how that works. If I have to pass it in that way, I don't even know. But then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say this dot not. This is going to be a private thing. I'm going to say var parse input, and it's going to accept events. It's private, so I'm just doing that. Position error. I don't know why it says that. Oh, for parse var parse input equals function. There we go. All right. And then what I'm going to do is, just for now, I'm going to have it console.log just to see if this is working. Event.code. The position error.code read-only property is an unsigned string representing the error code. I don't even know what that means. Let me not use, I don't know if it's a keyword. Shouldn't be, I don't think. I'm just going to use E. Alright. Let's see. So, what I'm thinking is, when there's a key press, I'm adding an event listener onto the text box. Whenever there's a key press, then it should do this, which is it should check if the code was 13, meaning it was the enter key, and if it was, it should call parse input, passing it the event. So what I'm going to do, add event listener. I think I want to put this inside of a function, inside of a method. This dot init init processor, init proc. It's a function. I think I want to put this in here so that I can instantiate command processor and then call it. I like having to be deliberate about it. Over here in parser HTML, I like having to be deliberate about it. and then I'm gonna say cp.init prop. Okay. So that will do that. And it should call this. All right, let's come back over here. I need to do this simpler just to see if it's working first. What happened? Did it reload the page?
I wrote all the letters.
What happened? Why does that reload the page? That's interesting. Oh, it reloads the page. Because I'm noticing this got put up there, command equals. It's because that's in a form. That was that thing that I didn't know if I needed to put that in a form or not. No, I don't want to put that in a form because the form has a submit function tied to it just by sheer nature. I'm going to get rid of that. If I want to put a like if I want to put a label on there, I just use a span element or something and put before it that, because that I don't want that. I don't want this to be a form. That was what I was afraid of, was that form was something special. Okay. So I'm getting rid of that. This is not, input won't be tied to a form anymore. And then to get that underneath there, I'm just gonna go back up to the output and call it display block. Like that. Alright. And I'll put a span out there to put a label back on it later. Alright, let's see. Let me get rid of that little string there. Load that page back up. That's fresh, that's live. Let's see if my link is still alive. So come here and hit enter. And nothing happens. Okay. So I'm going to come back in command process. Let's look at what I have here. Let's simplify this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to strip all this out. I think honestly.
What do you do if the layers are the same? You forget about it.
I think honestly, let's try something simple. Let's try to change one thing at a time. Okay. I'm going to strip out let's do this. Let's see. Here we go. E is not defined, so it's actually making it in here. Okay. The question is, can I even deal with the events? It's the same function E. Let me just search this. Pass event JS pass event to function. To an inline event handler. Hold on. Blah blah blah. Now I want to use the onClick attribute. I've done this before, so I'm always, it's been a long time. Let's say event to anonymous. Let's see. Um, let's see, event target, add event listener while anonymous. Introduction to events. I only want this to get triggered. Events are actions or a series of fortunate. Example. That's so weird. Some of the function A, function B, the event concepts. I want to check a condition. Event bubbling and capture. I want to check a condition. Alright, let's check something. Keep going just to make sure I don't miss anything. Because I know this about the prevent default, because I had to use that in the network simulator I did to prevent something or another. Okay, let's see. JS add event listener condition. Let's see. Add event listener. Add event listener. Implement add event listeners and inbuild. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go. It's crazy I can't figure out how to do this from searching. Let me go back to my my network simulator that I did. Oh, you serious right now? Let me go back to the network simulator because it's really simple. I'm not about to dig through the internet for it. I had to figure out how to do it then. Of how to pass this. This is the stupidest thing. Function, boom, if it's how to get. Let me see if I say event. If event position error. Why is it seeing that as position error? What? I don't know. I can't remember what it is. Let me go back to my oh boy, repos. I hate trying to remember stuff because when it's been a long time. Because I did this project twice. I tried it with a graphical approach one time. Which category? Which it's in buffer, I think, because that's where I keep clicking. Let's see. It's in here. Let's see. Where did I do this? I have to add an event listener too. Here we are. Function event. If event.code equals enter. For our new line handler function. Okay, yeah, this is the actual function. Where is my add event listener? Add event listener here. Key press. New line handler. So I just, okay. So it always, okay. So what I'm trying to do, that's why I can't find how to do that. And that's because apparently it's not possible. So So what I'm gonna do here, basically going back to look at problems I've already solved before. So I'm gonna do this and just leave it that way, because apparently I discovered before that that's why I couldn't find it online, is that I have to then check this. First, let's test if it's working. I have to, it's always going to call this, which makes sense. It's always going to trigger whatever you said. But, okay, enter. Okay, that's what's actually in code. It's good to find that out. So where I have to deal with it is, yeah, but no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because that it's constantly calling this method, just constantly calling it. I don't like that. Because essentially in this where I did this, because what I'm doing in this project is, as it goes down the page, as you're in a command prompt, the old output is just old output. You can't put anything in there. And so that's where this remove event listener, once the line has been basically submitted, this moving the active line, it just makes that uneditable content, and it removes the event listener. And then this one initializes the active line or whatever. And to do that, it adds an event listener, which is a new line handler, which is up here. Necessary since you can't remove anonymous functions. I think I said that because I tried putting the okay, that's an option that I have, is rather than calling another function, I can try to handle the stuff in the actual I can try handling the stuff I can't scroll back the way. Okay, I can try handling the stuff in an anonymous function. That's what I'm saying here. Since you can't remove anonymous functions, the way I was trying to do this was to put an anonymous function here. When I added the event listener and have it, I think I was probably trying to do exactly this. And I found out that you can't do that. That if I did it that way, I wouldn't be able to remove the event listener once that content wasn't editable anymore. Yeah, and so I would be making multiple calls to my method unnecessarily with the old, each event listener on each span going down the page would still be active. Okay. All right. Okay. Event listener. Key press is gonna call. Okay. Okay. Let's do something. Let's have it call this function. I'm gonna try this one more time. Let's say parse input. Let's just put E in there and see if it'll let's see if this even gets in here. Let's do our console.log again. Let's see if it still works. E.code. Let's see if this still works. Which would say that it passes this across my anonymous function. Okay, E is not defined. So it's not passing this. Can it pass E in there? Let's just call it E. Ah, got it. Okay. So if I put the E there, it will pass that E into here. Okay, let's try something else quickly. I'm gonna try to do that console.log E from in here. Let's comment that out. Okay, cool. It logs it. It logs the it shows that the code is enter. Okay, sweet. So I can get my event in here, which is to say, why didn't this work? Maybe I had my syntax off before. What's the I can use a ternary operator, JS ternary, to do it in one line, clean with no brackets and everything. How do I do it? Question mark. Yeah. Okay. So I could say e.code equals, or does it even, it doesn't work that way. Well, I can put it in parentheses, I guess. E.code equals enter, because maybe that was what was screwed up before, was that I didn't realize that the code was actually a string. Maybe that's what that was. E.code enter, question mark. If it is, then call parse input and pass it E. Okay. Put this in. Otherwise, don't do anything. Which I don't guess I don't even need that. Do I even need that? I said I didn't have another condition, which the very nature of a ternary means you have two things to choose from. So yeah, the very nature of the ternary means you have another option. And I think ternary isn't the right thing to use there. If blah blah blah, if e.code equals, and I think this was my problem anyway, it was just false, equals enter, then call parse input and pass it E. If e.code is enter, call parse input and pass it E. Otherwise, don't do anything. Let's go back, and then I want to do console.log just to see if it'll work. And it works. Okay. Cool. So it only does this. I can type, and then I can hit enter, and it does that. Okay. Sweet. So it's only doing this. It stops it from doing unnecessary function calls, so that works. Okay. Big wow. All right. first thing I need to do inside here is I need to reach out and grab. I can use text box also. I can say text box. The first thing I can do is say text box dot inner text. No, wait a minute. I can say I need to create a variable here. I can say var input equals text box dot inner text, and then I can say text box dot inner text, and there's this relationship between inner text and inner HTML that sometimes one that I don't know which actually is a valid one, so we're going to find out. And then I'm going to say, after it does that, I want it to log input just to make sure I actually got it. Let's see if this works. Okay, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. It doesn't actually see. Now, wait a minute. There's another, hold on. There's another, I think it's text box dot, let's try something. I think it's text content. I think there's another property. Text box, let's tell you, because I'm trying to get my autocomplete. Text box dot content. Let's try this inner HTML. Inner HTML. Let's try that. It's not that easy. Let's go and let's look at an element and see what's wait a minute, what am I doing? Let's go to reference. HTML DOM reference. Let's see, and the element reference. Let's see what properties it has. I think there's a text content. Scroll left. Text content, there it is. Sets or returns the textual content of a node and its descendants. Yeah, that should be what I want. It's weird it doesn't show up in autocomplete. You can't rely on autocomplete all the time. Text content. Oh, now it knows. When you type the whole thing. Text content. Okay. Save. Let's see. Still comes up with nothing. Okay. Let's think. Let's go back here. I'm gonna go back to, okay, that's an element. Text box. I'm getting text box. Let's check something.
Food is ready.
All right, let's see. Let's check something. Let me go back to cards. What am I passing in? This is CMD is command, and command actually is the input. Okay. I'm going to go grab something to eat, and I'm sure there's something, it's something simple. It may be that, focus. It may be that, and maybe I'm just going about it wrong. I don't know. But it's something simple. I'm gonna go eat something. I'll be right back. Okay. So dinner was delicious. Back with dessert, which is my typical munch bar. I have a sweet tooth. The size of Rhode Island. I say Rhode Island, not Texas, because I try to keep it in control. I don't eat things like cake or whatnot. I'm not trying to be completely unhealthy. So I made cookies earlier, but I try to keep the sugar under control. All right. However, I was busy having trouble with not getting text content from this box. Let's see. I heard how brackets squeeze with everything. Let's see. Command box is the outer. Okay. Let's see. Move myself over. Is there any way? Let's check this out. It's a key press. Listeners is there. It's cool to have this here. Let's see. Properties. Can I see elements? No. Let's see. Is it on the node? HTML element. What's the difference? I don't know what ARIA. I always see that in here. HTML input element. Is the text content? It is there. Type error. Illegal invocation. That's interesting. Alright. What is a lighthouse? I've never seen this before. Saw it the other day. Alright, let's try screwing around with it. Let's see if I just do it in the console. And say, let me do CSS stuff. What is it? Text box. Text box not defined. Oh, I can do this. I can say var text box equals document dot get element by ID. What is it called? Command. What is that thing? It's just command. Let's see, what is text box now? Alright, it sees text box. So if I say text box dot text content, there's nothing in there. Okay. Text box dot inner. There's nothing in there. Inner HTML, nothing in there. What is it that I don't know about it? Yes, input element text. So, input text value. Oh, I do remember there being a value. 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 Quick, fun command processor. Text content. Value. That's it. Okay, so it's a value that actually gets the text. But Google okay. A value attribute. That's interesting. A string representing a value of a text field. Okay. So is it because it's a content editable element? Let's see. HTML value attribute. Versus have anybody else asked this, or am I the only idiot? Difference between input value. Someone on Treehouse was more like web dev focused. The properties value and text content represent different things. Any node has a text content, including text nodes, which are not elements. It represents the text content of the node itself alone in all the sentence, but only input elements have a value. It represents the data input, the input data supplied by the user or provided by code. Also, input elements have a text content, but it will always be empty since there are void elements. Okay. Because nothing can go between the brackets of the element when you put it in the HTML, I guess. Sweet. I have learned, though I'm sure only the beginning. Okay. I love Munch. Munch is like a perfect snack. It's not terribly sweet, but it's sweet enough that it satisfies a sugar addict like myself. Can I preach about Munch? Come on now. All right now. Munch. Okay. So. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right. So we know how to do this now. Oh, and it also cleared itself out. Sweet. It also clears itself out. Okay. So now comes the part. Anytime I start just delaying and like procrastinating, talking about other stuff, it's because something hard is about to approach, and I also want to finish my candy. No, not candy. Munch is not candy. It's a snack. It's a ground nut based snack. Which is a more sophisticated way peanut. It's a leguminous snack. There. Now that I have finished my leguminous snack, I'll get to the hard part that I'm kind of avoiding here. We actually have to start parsing these commands. So, I actually need to start designing the commands. Actually, I'm gonna make a quick text file. Well, no, let's not get into that yet. Let's not get into that yet. What I want to do first is I want to just test the command, because this is going to let me actually build some of Game Master and actually start to define the structure of Game Master and what's the other one? Yeah, Game Master is the other one. It's actually going to let me start defining the structure of Game Master. So what I'm going to do is we see that we can log something because we're getting value, and we can reset the text in there. What I'm going to do is, now that we have textbox.value, I'm going to actually, what's the simplest sort of thing I can actually bring in legitimately this time? My switch statement. Parse input. The first thing I really need to do is to tokenize it. So I'm going to do at least a two-part command here. The first thing I'll have to do is call tokenize and pass it input, and let's see, output will become, I'll need that to return the result, the resulting command. So I'll define that, and then I'll call controller dot and then I have to define some methods inside of controller. Controller dot do. I like that because it sounds old school, from a lot of old programming languages. Do output. I love that. That felt good. And then now I need to define tokenize. Again, it'll be private because there's no need to access it outside of this. So I'm gonna say tokenize, and I'm gonna probably refer back to. I like to try to remember like how to do stuff on my own without looking back at old stuff I've done, because you're trying to remember it. A lot of times I'm redoing research, knowing because the first time I did some of this, like the first time I did a tokenizer ever was with the little attempt at making a network simulator that I did, in which I may do a video on that. I may just download the code or whatnot and try to run it in the browser here. But when you do research one time, sometimes trying to remember it like months later or whatnot, or a year later, when you know that it works, you know you've done this before, you're a little bit more relentless in your research. And a lot of times, most of the stuff that I have learned, which I'm a noob, and you can probably tell that, but you end up learning more because you know it's possible, in the sense that you keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper, knowing that I've never been to this website before, this was not how I found this out before, I've never read this in this book before, this was not the process I took. But a lot of that felt like little tidbits you pick up along the way ends up being, forming a large part of your knowledge, until you finally arrive back at, that was how I did that, or whatever. versus something that you have no idea if this is even possible, and you just want to give up or whatnot. So tokenize. I'm gonna think about what I actually need this to do. It's gonna take in text. That text has to have some limits, and one of those limits is going to be that the tokens, I'm going to consider them to be separated by spaces. I know that JavaScript, like Python and other languages, has a method, a built-in method that can split a string into tokens. Basically, it's not a tokenizer, but it just puts them in an array. I know that, and so I'm gonna go here and go to the string reference and find split. Yeah, splits a string into an array of substrings, and I think it just takes 2 arguments, possibly the separator and the limit. I think, and the limit is optional. Yeah. Oh, apparently both of them are optional. If omitted, the entire string will be returned. An array with only one item. Interesting. An integer that specifies a number of splits. Okay. So, and this apparently has been around since the beginning. Sweet. So what I'm going to do is to tokenize it. I'm just going to say I'm going to create. I mean, obviously it should be called tokens. Nothing about this would be unique. It's pretty much obvious. Tokens equals this function is going to have to accept input. They can have the same name because it's scoped. The other input is scoped. I'm going to say input dot split, and I'm going to use spaces, and that gives me an array with tokens in it. What I'm going to do now, this determines how I deal with parsing each one of them, and this starts to get into my commands in the quote-unquote kind of command tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I'm thinking about, my child is playing some imaginary game and I need to calm her briefly. Not sure how long that'll last. Let's try to be a little quieter. Let's see. Okay, so I have an array of tokens. I think my command parse input is incorrectly named. Considering what it does, I was just say get input. Okay. Because of what it does, that's not really accurate, because, and I recognize that because now parse input is what I'm about to do. I'm just passing input along. I almost want to make it a global here. Alright, parse input. What I'll do is make a switch, which now I actually get to legitimately use switch. Alright, we're switching on input, and now we're making a case. Now we're making a test case. I'm gonna say case. If input is I want to do something. I'm just going to do a test here. So I'm going to say case test. If that's the case, Okay, now. This becomes important here because I'm doing commands with multiple tokens. So what's going to happen here, in tokenize, okay, I need another call in here. Okay, that's going to get output, and it's going to say parse input, and it's going to pass it output. Output is not a good name. Let's just call this a command. Output is not a good name. Okay, it's going to send it command, and command will be the input into this, so this is fine locally. So it's going to send that in, and this will be output. Alright, so that's going to send that in here, but I'm sending multiple this, yes, okay. This is what I was thinking about, because I'm gonna use a while because I don't know how long, because this is an array. What I just realized was that this is an array. I'm using multiple tokens, so that's an array. I don't need to send. This is fun because this is the type of stuff I like to screw around with, because it starts feeling old school, like gritty, right? Like we're in the guts of we're building like a system or whatever. Because what's going to have to happen is, or as I'm seeing it right now, what's going to have to happen is the parser, the actual command processor, is going to have to notify. It's going to have to notify this loop that I'm about to do that's passing it in further input. It's going to have to notify it when it's ready for more input, because it's going to have to change contexts, in the sense that the way I'm doing it is, basically, if I say move card heart ace to foundation 1 or whatever, it's going to send move. The command processor is going to go into the tree for move and look at the valid moves that are available for move. That's how I'm imagining it. Now, I've never built an actual command processor. This is the totality of building a command processor that I have ever done, which is my little attempt here. This is as far as I ever got, and this was the command tree, and it was literally composed of one command, which was a help. That literally just printed out a message. This never really became much of a tree. It was more like a trunk of some sort. So what I'm doing is just reusing that idea that I never actually got to implement. But it will go into there, and it will pass it that token. The processor will switch into that tree, and then notify, okay, next token. It will then process that, switch into the tree, move card, whatever. If that's it will then have to, okay, I'm seeing an intermediate piece in there. How do we validate whether or not how do we validate whether or not a move is valid? Because the command processor, it could parse it could parse a valid command, and the command is valid, but that command could then be sent through controller to control through the do method, which has not been defined yet, and it could be found that that's not valid. Let's say I try to move a king onto a 7, not valid. I could have that. I could either have the command processor, which it would destroy separation of concern. So that's a bad thought. The command processor should just parse a valid command. If it's invalid, the result should come back from controller. Controller should have, checks. Can I do this? If I can do that, because it's looking at its data. If that's not possible, it should report back. Okay, which I haven't even defined this do method yet. It should report back, I can do this. If controller.do. Right, and I could have do return true, just like in C or C++, whatever. A method, the main method has a return code or whatever. I would say if controller.do, if this is true, meaning it was successful, I could then do message box dot text content becomes, because message box is a span, so it should actually have text content. Message box dot text content becomes I'm just gonna make it a non-breaking space. Non-breaking space. Just like that. I think that's how you do it. Is that how you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? Is it? I thought it would autocomplete. What is a non-breaking space? Non-breaking space. It is. Oh, it ends with a. I knew there was a semicolon in there. And non-breaking space. Okay. If it's not, else. I could also have it return. It just returns true. Because in JavaScript, I'm not locked into a return type. I don't have to declare, like in Java, I have to declare it as an int, like that it returns a certain data type. I don't have to do that in JavaScript. So the do method of controller could return a message as well. But that I would have to set this to true to make sure that it says true, because if it has content at all, I think this would be true. No, I'm saying equals true. Right? It actually equals true. Or I could just use a string just to keep it consistent. I could use a string. I could just have it return some string. I'll have it return that. Otherwise, I'll have it the message box content actually be. I can have controller.do return a error message. And no. I don't have any way to get that. If I'm doing it like this, I'm using the return value here. Hold on. Okay, cool. No, I just do that. It return true or false, and then the only message that could be returned was invalid. Move. Invalid. Command. Yeah, I can just have it return. I can just have it return true or false. Yeah. And then the only thing that you find out is that what you just try to do is invalid. Okay. Totally fine. Save that. Let's go to Game Master and just give a stub. What is the name of it? Do function. This is gonna be a this, because it is this dot do. input for this one. Wait a minute, what am I doing? This dot do equals function. Equals function. Input. Boom. I have a stub there. Okay. Alright. Back here, I need to now define this loop. I'm thinking about using a while. Because these commands could be of arbitrary length, or varying length anyway. I'm going to say while, what will be my condition? What will be my condition? What is it doing now? What will be my condition? My condition. What will be my condition? While well, output or output dot length. How could I do this? Could I do it destructively and have it go through the output array? Again, output, I don't like that term. I'm going to call this tokens. I'm actually going to call this tokens back here because that's what they are. Okay, while tokens dot length. While maybe I'm going to have to use a for loop. Yeah, I'm going to have to use a, well, I don't have to. I could define, why am I doing this? I could define token cursor is 0 so that I don't have to worry about resetting it. Every time this is called, it's reset. While token cursor is less than tokens dot length, then I want to keep feeding. Why is this doing this? Why is my indentation buggered? While token cursor is less than tokens dot length, I want to do this. I'm still not dealing with the thing that I started thinking about, which was that the controller dot do has to this actually works, yeah, because if at any stage, so what I'll have to do is controller.do will have to keep track of where it currently is. So we can switch contexts. It says true to this point, true. Come back, new thing. Where was I? Okay, is this valid for this context? True. Come back. Where was I? Is this valid for this context? False. Invalid command. Otherwise, if it keeps going and it makes it all the way to a terminal command that actually triggers something, okay. So this actually works. Okay. But controller has to be, let me take a note of that in case I stop here. Try to keep going. but in case I stop, we need to. Why do I keep saying we? Keep. this is kind of like this is trippy. I'm here on this empty YouTube channel. I was just doing this because this is what I always wanted to do, and all of a sudden I'm saying things like we, and I'm talking as though I'm speaking to someone. It starts getting weird. Like, I feel this is odd, but it's fine. No, it's not. I need to keep it together. Okay. Need to keep track of last command between calls. But because it's an object, this is an object. This is not a function. It's a function. But when I create a new game master, it's an object. Okay, so I can do this. It stays alive. It has context between calls to maintain context awareness. Which is to say the command processor needs to keep it together too. This will be really funny when I come back and read this in like a year. It's like, wow, I was joking with myself. I remember this movie. Okay. Alright, that's just a note there. In case I end up coming back tomorrow or something. Tomorrow is work, and I'm so sad that tomorrow is work. The week off has been amazing. I did so many things in the house that I needed to do. Alright, so okay, I need to take care of token cursor in here. Controller.do tokens at the index of token cursor, of course. Then token cursor plus. Alright. So that gets me through token cursor. And it ends when we get to the end of it. Alright. Amazingly, I have now reached the point where I'm now prepared to start screwing around with do after I actually return input bar tokens equals input dot split. Do I need to do anything with the tokens? No. So I can just return and just say return input dot split on spaces. Okay. So this actually needs to go no, wait. Yeah, no, this is not do. I don't do this here. No. I don't do this here. Okay, but I'm not screwed. This goes down here because I'm like, what is parse input? Because I've gotten over into controller.do as a mistake, because that would be putting parts of command processor, because that relationship can be fuzzy. That would be a mistake, putting parts of command processor into tokens.do. That's parse input. Okay, that's this, which means my little loopy note over here needs to come out of game master, and that goes here. That goes here, which makes it even better because I mean I'm in here where I can make, you know, a global if I need to. That Yep. 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 Okay. What I could do is just dump all of, yeah, that's it. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, actually having it parsed through step by step, because being that I'm in the same, that means that all this was unnecessary. Being that I'm in the same, object here, I could just dump, all the tokens. I could just dump all the tokens, into, and even on this get input, this makes me even want to just rename this and call it handle input, honestly, because I like having it all in one place, that this one thing does everything. I like that, so that you have a single place. When that starts getting long and crazy, you have a single place to go for the main steps that need to take place. So I don't even need this. Dang it. I don't even need this. Take a screenshot of it to remember it the way it was. Get rid of that. It makes it cleaner. Tokens equals tokenize. Tokens equals tokenize. Wait a minute. Our command equals token. What? What did I have there before? Parse input. Oh. var tokens. No, I got these backwards. This is tokens. Yeah. And the command, just you use them that way, but just semantically. Tokens are returned from here. I really could just have this submitted straight in there, but whatever. I like having it separate. Tokens is that, and then part command is that, and then because this is going to respond with the thing to send, and then I go back to controller dot do command, because this is going to return one thing basically to tell the controller what to do. Okay. Now, this is where I need to. Oh, I guess I could have kept my my while, because I'm just moving it basically to down here. I have now input. So, basically, I get to keep that. That's our token cursor. I just re-implement that here, and then do my while. Why does it do a while loop? Am I declaring it wrong? Why does it throw the indentation off like that? It's so weird. While token cursor is less than input dot length, because that's gonna be an array. I'm gonna say this. This right here. This right here. I want. Okay, that's gonna be that case. Default, of course, will be return. Well, no, let's do it cleanly. I don't want to return from a weird place. I'm inside of a function. I don't want to return from somewhere weird. I do this? Okay. Okay. Hey, I'm seeing, because I was thinking about, because since command is coming back here, I could do a check and say if command is not equal to invalid or whatnot, then go ahead and call controller.do. But I could also just have controller.do respond to it being an invalid command and respond back. But that's an extra method call. That's not good form. So I could just come in here and say var output is an empty string, and then have this just say output equals invalid command, like that, and then do a check here via if command is not equal to invalid command, then do this. Otherwise, just go ahead and do that anyway. Just to give me some flexibility, I could have it output that. Okay. Okay. So, and then it's going to go through, going to do that in each of these cases. I'm going to let it do its thing, and then I'm going to say token cursor plus plus. All right. Now, this is where I get to deal with those different contexts and the context switching. So I think this is a good, because I'm at hour 38, because this video is all chopped up because I stopped to eat and everything. I'm going to just pause here so I can set it to processing, to rendering the video. And then I'm going to start another video, and I'm going to come right back. Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.